Y'all, last year, I made a whole lot of money. I just gotta be real about it. All right. And during that process, I have realized what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Go and Grow. I am Dr. Mirakal Jackson, and yes, I am a real doctor. So last year, I had reached a point in my life where I was just trying to figure out, like, where do I want to go in my life? Who do I want to become? Who do I want to be, y'all? And I realized that I could be and accomplish anything, literally anything. I became an investor last year and I started making all this money and I just became wealthy. My mindset shifted to a point where I began to understand just the money game and how to elevate my life, elevate my mind. But it all began with a struggle. The interesting thing about it is I used to be one of those people where I wrote every single thing down. Y'all, I still have planners from when I was in high school. That was over 10 years ago. Like planners from even, I think the oldest planner I have is from 2014. That's 11 years ago, y'all. I've always understood the power of writing down my goals, the power of being able to multiply my income and know that I'm gonna come out on top regardless. But it didn't always start that way. And that's why in this series, I started with my why. I began the first part of this series, part 1 of 4, with saying you need to understand your why. Because if you don't understand your why, you're going to find yourself going back into old habits and things that just aren't going to help you build the life that you deserve. And so you need to understand why before you take the leap, right? In my first video, I said you need to know your why. You can't just take the leap without knowing why you're jumping. That's like jumping off a cliff and saying, oh, well, I just hope I land somewhere. No, you don't need to have a detailed plan, but you at least need to have some type of vision. You need to understand which direction that you want to take before you just go doing it. And sometimes you don't even need to know. When I quit my job, I didn't know exactly which direction that I wanted to take. I literally was just walking by faith. Literally walking by faith. And honestly, I didn't even know how I was going to make money last month. Obviously through passive income, but I'm talking about active income. I started to get it. I started to finally understand this is what people start doing to start building their lives up. They start having a vision. They start understanding that it's a process. You don't just get these types of things overnight. You have to struggle a little bit and you have to fail. Look, y'all, for the longest time, I used to be scared of failure. But now I understand that how can you be successful if you don't fail? Because failure is how you learn. Failure is the perfect example of you taking action and you learning from the action that you took. What? You taking action and learning from the action that you took. See, I used to always just focus on success. Most of my career and most of my academic career and also my actual career, I've always been the type of person that knew that I was built for more. Y'all, I am extraordinary. There are things that God is doing in my life where I don't even see the full picture yet. But I know and I trust that God's going to come through and God's going to do it for me. And even down to this message, this brand that I'm wearing across my chest, what? Walking in Miracles Art Company, you got to understand, this is a vision that's been being built over a decade ago. Of me just customizing some shoes, using my talents, using the gifts that the Lord blessed me with, and saying, hey, I'll do this for $200, right? I can restore your old shoes and make them look new. I can be able to do all these different things creatively. I am like a creative powerhouse, y'all. And the beautiful thing about it is I'm in a different element. When you start getting into your element, y'all, I really feel like I'm getting into my prime. I'm getting into a different part of my life where I finally begin to get it. I finally understand there are struggles that I had to go through for so long. And when I say struggles, I'm not feeling like all my accomplishments were enough. Constant need of just needing to prove myself. And this post-quit my job phase, I've realized, I thought I didn't care before, but y'all, now I really don't care. And I'm totally okay with that. Because I know that if I care so much about what other people think about me, if I always want the approval of others, I'll never approve myself. I'll never love myself. I'll never accept myself. And that's just not the life that I want for me. This whole time, I've been waiting for the right moment in my life to start sharing my story. And it just kind of sucks that the main person that was just a big part of my story, I had to watch her die to feel like I needed to live more. And I'm not saying that I wasn't living before. I was definitely traveling. I was definitely living my dream life, or the version of it that I thought was the dream. But then I got to a point where instead of just feeling sorry about those experiences that I faced in my life, I started understanding that there are some parts of the story like that we just want to disregard, that we just want to just leave that part out. There are some parts of my story that y'all still don't know yet. And I bet y'all think y'all know me. I bet you think you know me so much. But even though it feels like I share everything on this channel, I don't. I just share what I feel like is put on my heart and laid on my spirit to do, and then I just follow that. I'm past the point of needing to prove myself. I know everything that's happening in my life, everything is working out for my good. It's all it's unraveling as it's meant to. And honestly, we start questioning all of our different experiences. Instead of appreciating them, don't question your experiences, like reflect on them. And understand sometimes you don't get it until later on. But I've learned that there are a lot of great teachers in life. But one of the best teachers, time. One of the best teachers. And as time continues to go, because time is not going to stop for nobody, right? And that's why I say stop wasting time, because when your time is up, it's up. That was a hard lesson for me to learn. And even though it was hard, I'm glad that I learned it early. So that way I can understand how to move when I'm in that. And so I just wanted to make this video because people just make it seem like, oh, well, if I just speak it into existence, it'll just be. But that's just one part of the process. There's more to it. So I am Dr. Mirakal Jackson. The sun is finally actually starting to set. It'll be dark before you know it. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up, but I just had to just stop right here in the store. Like this right here, y'all. Look, that right there, it's mine, because I believe that God can do it for me. I'm not ready for all that God has for me yet, but that's not gonna stop God from preparing me for it. Part of getting ready is doing, all right? So at this point, I'm just rambling a little bit. I do tend to talk a lot, so I just want to just know that you deserve more in your life. And I believe that you have the power to get it, but only if you tap into the ultimate power that gives you that power, which my belief is God. So I am Dr. Mirakal Jackson. Yes, I am a real doctor. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Go and Grow. And if you watched all 4 parts of this series, you're the bomb.com. You're the bomb.com. All right. So thank you so much for supporting. Even you watching like that motivates me. You guys come on this channel to be motivated. And little do you guys know, when you comment, when you engage, when you let me know this is helping, that helps me, because it's just some nice affirmations to let me know I'm on the right track. And honestly, I already know I'm on the right track, but it's just nice to hear it. So if you found this series helpful, please go ahead and let me know in the comments. I definitely want to know all about it. So go ahead and subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, there's definitely more content coming. And I cover all different types of content. I know a lot of YouTube gurus are like, well, choose a niche and focus on that. I don't want to do that. I'm like, there are so many layers to me that I just don't fall in one category. So you're going to get all different types of content all throughout the year. And I appreciate you supporting. I appreciate you watching. And I definitely appreciate you guys growing with me throughout this process. And in the meantime, please make sure that you take care of yourself. Doctor's orders.